Okay, so today is the day, finally, the annual pilgrimage to Chamonix is starting. So we're literally at home, just jumped in the adventure bus. But if you're new to the channel and you don't know about our history of Chamonix, we've been going there probably for the last 6-ish years. I actually proposed to Liga, my lovely wife, at the finish line of UTMB. We went there on our honeymoon and it's our wedding anniversary in a couple of days' time. So we're going to celebrate out in the mountains of Chamonix. We're going to be there for probably 6 to 7 weeks. We've got lots of things planned. Training, we're going to show you lots of epic mountain content, that's for sure. But number one priority is getting Liga ready for the CCC, deep breath, at UTMB, her biggest race and biggest challenge today. If you don't know, it is 100 kilometers in the mountains with 6,100 meters of elevation. A super tough race, but we're going to get her prepared and she's going to smash it, that's for sure. We're then heading on to Switzerland and I'm going to be taking on the UTMB 60k, a race I've wanted to do for years. But we want to bring you along on all the action, the training, talking about the kit, the races, but we want to start it from today at home in sunny Cornwall. Yes, it's sunny as we leave. It's been really hot today. We are running traditionally late as always. We were supposed to leave about 3 hours ago and we've got a long trip ahead. So about 900 miles from Cornwall to Chamonix with a ferry crossing in the middle. So we're all packed up, we're all ready to go. So I suppose we better hit the road. I've forgotten one thing. Let me sort it out. That's better. Dover, here we come.
Monday morning blues. I open my eyes and I'm greeted by a cute little smile. The world is new with you by my side. Everything is beautiful. Tuesday afternoon, I'm calling you home just to hear your voice on the phone. I think of you and I'm not alone. You are everything.
Chin chin. Well, this is definitely going to be a caffeine fueled first part of our adventure. Well, I say caffeine, but you know, it's Costa. Not a big fan of it, but beggars can't be choosers. But like I said, we traditionally late leaving. We were really late leaving this time. It is now 11:30 and I think SatNav said we're going to get there about 4 o'clock in the morning, so not ideal, but you know, these things happen. Luckily Liga's found us a place to park very, very close to the ferry terminal, so we're going to hopefully get there, like I said, about around 4 o'clock. It'll probably be 4:30. We've got to get on the 8:30 ferry and we've got to be there an hour before it leaves, so we'll probably get a couple of hours sleep at the best. But you know, we're used to this. This always happens when we're going to Chamonix and it's all part of the adventure. It's all good fun. So actually that's all right. That's not too bad. I think it's just because I'm desperate for caffeine. But let's fire up the old bus. One of the reasons we were late is because we've made some updates to the bus this time round. So we got a basket on the top with some new waterproof boxes and we had some ratchet straps which we'd never used before. It took me about an hour to work out how to get there, but we got there. And the good news is we've just hit Exeter and the boxes are still on the roof. So I don't want to tempt fate, but let's get parked up at Dover and let's get some sleep. We'd finally arrived at our sleepover spot in Dover at 4:45 a.m. and believe it or not, the sun was trying to come up as we were trying to get some very much needed sleep. So we pulled the van into a spot, climbed into our sleeping bags and turned out the lights. Unfortunately, it wasn't long until the sound of the alarms were going off and I opened up the van door to a glorious morning in the UK. So hopefully this was a good sign of things to come. We were soon on the road again to the ferry terminal, just a short 5-minute drive, and we quickly shot through passport control and made our way onto the ferry for the 1.5 hour crossing. A quick hit of caffeine and then it was time to start driving on the other side of the road. An important thing to always remember. We soon hit the first toll section and Liga grabbed the first ticket of the day, and we always tend to take the toll roads when we're driving in Europe. There's very little traffic about, long sections of easy driving, and it really does cut the overall travelling time down by quite a bit.
26 euros.
26 euros? Also, there's lots of places to refuel and grab a bite to eat. And speaking of a bite to eat, it was a hot day and I thought it was about time that we pulled over and grabbed some very much needed liquid refreshment. So we've driven about 500 miles from Cornwall. We've caught the ferry across the English Channel, and myself and Liga are surviving on about 2 hours sleep in 36 hours. So we're both pretty knackered, but we have finally arrived in France, and look at it, the weather gods are shining down on us. So we're in France, it's 30 degrees and the sun's shining. That can only mean one thing. It's Orangina o'clock. So good. I've missed you, Orangina. Welcome back to my life. We've also got a nice tasty French baguette and we got some cheese, so we're going to have a nice little bit of lunch here for a minute and just unwind and chill out. The good news is, yes, we've been traveling a long time, but we are only about an hour away from our stop off point where we're going to spend the night. And I've got to be honest, it has been a hectic last day and a half. It's going to be nice to get there, relax, take the weight off my feet and to stop driving because it has been pretty full on. So should we have some lunch?
Yes, please.
We're going to have to do a bit of work later though, so when we get there it's not fully chilling out. There is going to be a bit of work involved, but a little bit, and then hopefully we'll get an early night as well, because
yes,
I think we should really do that. I'm going to try not to fall asleep while eating this baguette. We did it! Destination number 1 done. Warm, isn't it? Nice though. I'm not complaining, John. I'm not complaining it's too hot, John, okay? It's just a little bit warm, a little bit toasty in the van, but lovely weather. After a few hours in front of the laptop working on a video, we grabbed a quick bite to eat, a baguette and cheese obviously, and we were ready for bed. So we climbed into the adventure bus to catch some Z's. Right, that's another busy day over with. We're off to bed. We'll see you guys in the morning. It was an early start the next day, but we did manage to get a good night's sleep. Well, about 4 or 5 hours in the end. We were both really excited for our arrival in Chamonix, so we quickly packed down the van, making sure that everything was nice and secure for the next 5 hours of driving, and we hit the road. Next stop, the beautiful mountain town of Chamonix. So 850 miles later, several cups of coffee and a couple of cheeky Oranginas, and we are getting this trip done. This is where the road really starts to change, so it becomes a lot more rolling after all that flat toll road we had before, and you start getting some tunnels that cut through the mountainside and these epic bridges. I mean, the engineering on this stretch of road is amazing. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of tolls, so it is quite expensive, but it's definitely worth getting on the toll roads if you are coming out this way. So much more direct. It does cost a fair bit of money, but you get there a lot quicker. And out this way, I mean, it is just epic. The views are amazing. Mildly terrifying when you go over these bridges, but you know, you get used to it. Also, whenever we come out to France and we drive over, we get a lot of comments from people saying, oh, they're worried about driving on the other side of the road over in Europe, but really don't worry about it. By the time you've left Calais off the ferry or off the tunnel, you're used to it in 5 minutes. And like I said, we're on toll roads, so it's just long, straight sections of road, sometimes 150, 200 kilometers at a time. So it's really simple driving. But like I said, we are getting ever closer. Sat-nav tells me we should be at Chamonix in about an hour and 20 minutes. Can't wait to get there. We had a good night's sleep at that stopover point, but we're still both pretty shattered, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's going to be great to get there at a decent time of day, so around about 1 o'clock. We're going to set up base camp, get that all done, and then, you know, maybe pop into town, have a cheeky Moody's coffee once we're done. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're getting ever closer to Chamonix. Come on!
41 euros.
41 euros? The stunning mountain views soon made me forget all about the cost of the toll roads, and luckily for us, we didn't have to go through the Mont Blanc tunnel because the traffic jams for the tunnel were crazy. And then it appeared, the Chamonix Mont Blanc roundabout, a very welcome sight indeed. We had to navigate a few more corners, and then we arrived at our second home, the campsite we've been staying at for the last 3 trips. We found our pitch and quickly went about getting everything unpacked and set up, making sure that we've got all our creature comforts, making the adventure bus a comfortable and practical place to stay while we were away in the beautiful French mountains.
Under the sky so blue, I found my piece of heaven, spending my days with you. You are my piece of heaven.
So we have arrived and base camp is set up. It is so good to be back in Chamonix, and believe it or not, this is going to be our home for the next 4 to 5 weeks. I mean, we are literally living the dream. So like I say, good to be back in town, and I've got to say it, the journey was pretty much trouble-free, so a big well done to the adventure bus. We've also got a new tent box awning set up, and this is going to make a massive difference to camp life, having all this outdoor space. Really hope you enjoyed following us over on our journey, and I really hope that maybe it's inspired some of you guys to give this Chamonix trip a go one day. We've actually got some great partners for this trip, and I've got to be honest, none of this would be possible without their brilliant support. So when it comes to fueling, on training and racing out here in Chamonix, we are relying on Precision Fuel and Hydration and their excellent range of energy gels, energy chews, and their electrolytes. Myself and Liga are both going to be rocking Saysky running apparel. It's a brand I've been using for years and years now, and it's never let me down. And then last but not least, when it comes to nighttime running, so the training in the mountains and the racing, we're going to be relying on the brilliantly bright, super sturdy, long burn time Fenix head torches. We'd only ever partner up with brands that we fully believe in, and these 3 brands have been tried and tested over the years by myself and Liga, and we know we can rely on them for this trip. They've also been kind enough to give our wonderful viewers some discount codes, so I'll leave all that information in the description below, but it's definitely worth going and checking out. If you have enjoyed following us over, don't forget to smash that like button, and if you want to keep up to date with all the exciting Chamonix content that we're going to be putting up on the channel, maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. While you're there doing that, don't forget to hit that bell icon, because then you'll be notified when we upload any new videos to the channel. But for now guys, thanks for watching, thanks for the support, it's really appreciated. We'll be back here very, very soon, and as always, stay safe and keep on running. That can only mean one thing. It's Orangina o'clock. I'm knackered.